Thank you, Mr. Mike, and please give your family, your mom and your dad our regards. I reread your mom's book and your dad's book this past couple months, and it was very great. And it was nice to know that people, even in the hard situations that they're in, that we're in every day, that we can persevere. That your dad read was captured, a prisoner, and the way he was treated, that he had the strength and the belief and the faith and the perseverance to keep going on and going on. And that's what we face every day. Whatever we're doing, we have something personal in our lives. So don't give up. Persevere, have the inner strength, and believe in yourself that you can do it, because it can be done and it has been done over and over. And Mike's family is proof of that. So we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
And our next speaker, yay, everybody knows, or maybe not, this is Gus Dante from Rolling Thunder National, and we appreciate your time in coming because we know that you're very busy and all of the other stuff that you're doing. Mr. Gus.
First of all, Mike, good to see you. Ben, and I haven't seen you in a while. It was very interesting. I want that report. I'll give you my email for it. Beautiful. I want to thank Janelle and Nicolette for inviting me to speak here at the 28th Annual Alliance meeting. I'm going to try to bring you up to date on the House Resolution 219, which is to form a select committee on POW-MIA affairs. It goes way back, and it's very discouraging. I'm going to jump around a little bit. I'm on government affairs, and we have about 4 or 5 different pieces of legislation that we put out. Some were introduced in the 114th Congress. This also was introduced back in the 114. And to date, we're having so much trouble. I don't know what the hell the story is, excuse my French, but I get so aggravated that we can't get co-sponsors. You have this House resolution was introduced on the 21st of March in the 115th Congress. We've got 2 co-sponsors. I'm going to jump around a little. On our message points and the bills that we're doing with Rolling Thunder, we're going to be producing is the HR 504. This is to amend Title 38 to fly the 36, excuse me, to fly the POW flag all days, especially over the White House and the United States Capitol. Got 2 co-sponsors. I have people that work with me on this bill. Called every congressman in New Jersey. Not one has signed on. Excuse me. And it's Representative Lance from New Jersey. Why? And that was in the 114th and continue into the 115th where it was Rangers, no co-sponsors. We have, and he had mentioned, I gotta say one thing, he mentioned on the House floor Wednesday, Lance, so they know about it. It's not a question to know about it. I called the Speaker of the House, his office. I called McCartney's office. It's in judiciary. This is the flag bill. Why the hell it's in the judiciary, I have no idea. It's in a committee there, and Coleman, he's an attorney there. Still yet, there's no action. It's been going on for 2 years. We have HR 29 S4222, Blue Water Navy. Been messing with that for years. They have, I know we have co-sponsors that were carried over. No action on that one. That's going to be a tough one to get. Another one is HR 299. This is the bill for co-sponsor subcommittee on hearings held in S422 co-sponsors, 40 co-sponsors on that. This was read twice and it was sent into a committee on Veterans Affairs, and that's where it stays. This here one, Artie told me to put down because we want to keep all the Select Committee, and this other one, you're gonna like this bike, it was sponsored by McCain, F61. And Johnson in the House, all right? Two of these guys have sponsored this bill. This is calling on the Department of Defense, other elements of the federal government and foreign governments to intensify the efforts of investigating, recovery, and identifying all missing and unaccounted for personnel of the United States. To me, I don't want to put this on it. To me, it just contradicts what we're doing, you know, for the live POWs. But I'm going to tell you, 0 co-sponsors on that bill also, to date. And then we have our bill, HR HRES 219, establish a select committee with 2 co-sponsors. And when I get back home, I got to call this kid from North Carolina. I don't know if you're aware of this, Janelle. They have a shake-up in that office, and they got Walker is doing everything there. I said, what are you only hire 1 staffer? We're running out of money. These guys run for office. They got 1 staffer handling everything. It's just getting absurd. It's just ridiculous. But we got to keep the issue in their faces. And I learned that from my mentor over there, Roger Hall and Paul Carroll. They took me over to Coles with the POW issue. And a lot of times I got frustrated and wanted to walk away, and they said that's exactly what they want you to do. It took me over a year and a half, and Roger was in on that, when we went to meet with Nancy Pelosi and Wendy Parker, the policy advisor. It took me a year and a half to get that appointment. And I was there at, I don't know if it's a comedy all run together, and I get a phone call from Wendy Parker, sound like they were on the plane heading back to California having a couple cocktails. They said, we can't meet with you. I said, what the hell you can't meet with me? I got 2 or 3 people that are going to be on the Hill. I ran down, I told Artie, I said, this is ridiculous. He says, calm down. Artie Muller's telling me to calm down. So he's going, calm down. That's exactly what they want you to do. So finally she calls up, and yeah, this is old history, but you got to hear it. She calls up and she says, and they make it tough for you. She said, this is on a Monday. She says, can you be down here? Am I right, Rod? She says, can you be down here on a Wednesday? We'll be there. So it was Roger Hall, myself, Tommy Bender, Artie Muller, I think Teddy Spock, I forget who else was there. It was a long conference table, and they were giving us all this stuff. We were there a half hour. She's looking at the clock. Okay, you're done. This is all on House Resolution 111. You get co-sponsors for that. We're trying to move it, and that's as far as we got. These select committees always end up in that rules committee, and that's where they die. And I wanted to read something. I don't know. I was looking at. Since the 1993 Select Committee, there have been a few pieces, and I'm a rookie in this, 76, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. The legislation, the House Resolution 111, was sponsored by Peter King during the 1993 Senate Select Committee on the POW MIA affairs. They heard evidence that there was live POWs left behind. They were captured and listed as dead, where in fact they were still alive. In the time period, there also was information, a report of the 185 POWs that were left behind. I'm glad, I got that right, Mike? 180.
There are a number of different.
Yeah, different variations of that. So, yeah, so 185 people are possibly still alive. And during that time, in the Joint Casualty Resolution Center, they included the 57 POWs that were also, that was the big thing there, with the, where there was proof that there was 57 live POWs left behind. And that was in 93, and I see it so damn aggravated that they just dropped the ball. In 205, the Joint Commission concluded that Americans had been in prison in Russia, Soviet Union, the gulags, and we all know the history of all where they were all in. Not only American POWs, probably other POWs that fought with us in Vietnam, or fought with you guys, not me. I didn't go in the country. I want to be the first one to stand corrected on that. But I've been a big supporter, was in during the Vietnam War. And the Senate Select Committee, American people, although the families and others would not let like Mike, God bless your soul, man, you look good too, buddy. Never give up. Like Janelle said, we can never give up, because that's exactly what, and we try to young kids, you can never give up on anything. We try, don't give up on sports, so, well, we're not giving up on what happened with this POW issue. And this John Cares is useless, blockly, 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 block. This guy is terrible, terrible. Now, how the hell we put him in office and run the State Department? There's something wrong with this, the hill up here where the Capitol shines nice and clear.
How do we get him out?
He's out now, forget about him. Keep him out there, he should have been out long ago.
Pelosi should be put under.
Oh, they're sick. It's a crazy ass thing, but I want to get into that. I want to just say with the select committee on all the things, while committee on the POW affairs with the 110th Congress, Peter King took the ball rolling again with him on House resolution. And I'm going to jump right down. On February 3rd, 09, the resolution was introduced again, all right, in the 111th Congress. And again, Peter King picked the ball up and rolled with it. And that's when Roger Hall, Paul Carroll and I, we had a system. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but they were telling me, you gotta call here and watch your language, be polite and all that stuff. While these guys are going down on the highway, I was calling on vacation. I'd be down at the beach. I said, what are you doing? I'm going back to the beach house. I gotta get co-sponsor for House Resolution 111. So I'm towards this, what's that all about? I said, I gotta call Paul Carroll. You got an appointment at 2 o'clock at the rain garden, bro. You gotta go to Roger. You gotta go to the other building. Jesus Christ, you gotta be jumping around. Make sure you're all in the same building. I'll get wore out. Well, I'll tell you, all that work that these guys did. Am I right, Paul? Right.
We had fun doing it.
We had fun. It was fun, and we were passionate about it. And I don't know, I could name all, like the 110th Congress, the three of us, and we didn't just call one, we called the whole United States. We have a pamphlet set up, and it was, okay, Danny, you could call, I said, holy God, you're gonna be California? They got, how the hell many congressmen they got? They don't do a damn thing, they got about 70 congressmen. I'll take half there, we'll let the other guy out. Let me have a small one. Okay, Paul, you can have California, I'm gonna take, where's that, the islands where they had 2 representatives. Well, we did that. And we got 280 co-sponsors. I'm patting ourselves on the back. A few other organizations were in the mix helping. And then in the 111, 294 co-sponsors. And then in the 112, 230 co-sponsors. This is all House Resolution 111. And then I told you the story about meeting with Pelosi and even John Boehner. They said it's going to cost money. What money? I think Roger Hall, myself, Teddy Spock, and Tommy Bennett. There's only 4 of us then when Boehner became Speaker. And I just threw the thing in and said, read it. Read that the bill. It's not going to cost any money. I said, what? It's too much money to spend $80 billion to send it over to another country, and we can't find what happened to our guys that served in Vietnam, that were POWs. Oh, it's a wonder I haven't been arrested yet on that bill. But I don't think I was as bad as Mike back in the day. So to date, it's a tough situation, and we just got to keep the access going and getting everything done. After meeting with all these Congresses, where they end up. Every bill ends up in the Rules Committee. I think Slaughter was the head of the Rules. Yeah, Slaughter was the head from New York. I even had my nephew, who was a resident of Buffalo, New York, where her office was. And Roger, I remember telling Roger, I said, have your nephew go in here. He just got out of college, University of Niagara, and he met in that office, and he met with some staffer, and she was in town then. She was in Buffalo at that time, and they would never, and he said, what do you want me to say? And we were saying everything to say. We gave him a script. He didn't know too much of it. He knew I was involved with the POW issue. So we sent him the script, and still yet they wouldn't, they wouldn't see him, So he gave him all the information, and we have Roger signed it, I signed it, and gave it to her to work. And then when the session is now, I think the speaker or the Rules Committee. So We still have to remember that we still have, I always say 90,000 plus. Everybody says the numbers that are still unaccounted for from all wars, the POW MIAs. And this is something that we will never, ever, I won't. I'll take it to my grave. 76 years old, how much longer I got, but it's a passion that I have. One other thing, we have an education program, and we continue to say that we have to educate the kids in the high schools. There's so many schools, they don't even teach Vietnam or Korean War history. They just glaze over. Now, from where I am in Somerset County, North Hunterdon, Gary's our education committee, Gary Demansky of Rolling Thunder. The second when we go back, and Paul's going to be there, and we do the missing man table. Gary will speak about his experiences in Vietnam. I'd like to have Paul over there speaking about his experience. And we give a little history of the POW flag. And it's before 185 juniors and seniors at the high school. And one day we go to Somerville High. What's that? 300? Anyway, it was a big crowd, so right away I get a chip on my flag. I think Paul was there, and I go, one kid stands up, I'm going to go and grab him. T-shirt up. So Gary's up there telling all the guy that can't like it, do you know, I was so glad to be wrong. Those kids, you couldn't hear a pin drop. Not one pin drop. And after the program, they came down asking questions on how we could do for the POW. I think we were doing the Bo Bird dog then. You know, regardless of what you may think, our job is to get the POWs back here in the United States. That's our job. Let the chips fall where they may, whatever happened over there. And we were advocating Bo Bergdahl. And I was so impressed. And then we presented we went outside and did the POW flag, huge flag, and we always have the kids participate in it. If somebody can't read the missing man, we have from the honor class, and I have it all laminated, and I give it to Gary, and he gives it to her, and she reads it. And this is awesome. And that's my point. Got to teach these kids, you got to get them involved in the POW issue. And what the government's doing with the POW, leave no man behind, that's bold. They left a lot of guys behind. I don't know where we're going to go with this. So, we must keep the POW issue, as I mentioned earlier, in the forefront and in the faces of our politicians, and continue to educate the public, and to make sure that our young know what's going on. Even right or wrong, you got left. I got left in the family. I got right in the family, down in the middle. My granddaughter's my little POW activist. She's 12 years old. She wears braces and stuff. She got it on a field hockey stick, POW emblems and stuff like that. And my grandson, he's quiet. I'm trying to get him to groom him for West Point. My daughter says, no, he's not going to West Point. That's a military. He's not. Yeah. Well, when he's 19, he'll go Grandpa's way. He might go to Annapolis. You never know. But anyway, I want to thank you very much and keep the fight. And Janelle, keep the fight going on. Yep. You're lovely people, and just keep going. And I'm glad to see you, man. And you look good, man. Remember when I met you? You gave me a hard time. So who's this rookie here at the Alliance meeting? We're at when it was the Holiday Inn. Thank you very much. Enjoy it.